Here's a process happening inside your body right now, quietly, invisibly, that researchers increasingly believe sits behind almost everything we associate with getting older. Heart disease, joint pain, memory fog, even that afternoon energy crash. Scientists call it inflammaging, and here's what almost nobody tells you. It's largely reversible. Today, I'm giving you 5 things that genuinely calm this fire inside your body, and I'm saving the most surprising one, the one most people get completely backwards, for last. Let's get one thing straight first. Inflammation itself isn't the enemy. A short burst of it is exactly how your body heals a cut, fights off a cold, or recovers after a long walk. That's healthy, protective inflammation, and you want your body able to produce it. Inflammaging is something else entirely. It's a low-grade, simmering inflammation that never fully switches off. It runs quietly in the background for years, slowly wearing down blood vessels, joints, and even brain tissue. Researchers now link it to nearly every condition we've come to assume is just part of getting older. And the frustrating part is, it rarely shows up on a routine checkup because most doctors don't test for the markers that reveal it. Here's the part that should give you real hope, though. Inflammaging responds, often quickly, to specific, doable daily choices. Let's walk through 5 of them. What's on your plate? The problem: a lot of what fills the modern plate, refined carbs, packaged snacks, oils heavy in omega-6 fats, sends a steady stream of inflammatory signals straight into your bloodstream. Your body doesn't get a break from this. Meal after meal, it's quietly stoking the same fire. The science: studies tracking inflammatory markers like CRP, C-reactive protein, one of the clearest blood signs of inflammaging, consistently show it climbing in people who eat heavily processed diets and dropping in people who shift toward whole, colorful foods rich in polyphenols and fiber. The action step: you don't need to overhaul everything overnight. Start with one simple rule. Aim for 2 cups of colorful vegetables a day. Swap your cooking oil for olive oil and add fatty fish, salmon, sardines, mackerel, twice a week. Those 3 changes alone measurably lower inflammatory markers within weeks. Move daily. The anti-inflammatory drug you already own. The problem: after 60, it's tempting to move less. Joints ache, energy dips, and rest feels earned. But sitting for long stretches doesn't just weaken muscle. It actively raises inflammatory chemicals circulating in your blood. The science: regular moderate movement does the opposite. It lowers 2 of the biggest inflammaging markers, interleukin-6 and CRP, and a short walk taken after a meal has been shown to blunt the inflammatory blood sugar spike that follows eating. The action step: you don't need intensity. You need consistency. A 20 to 30-minute walk most days, paired with 2 short sessions of light resistance work each week, bands, body weight, light dumbbells, is enough to start cooling inflammation down, while also protecting the muscle and bone you already have. Repair happens at night. The problem: sleep architecture naturally shifts after 60. Lighter sleep, more wake-ups, less of the deep stages where repair actually happens. Many people quietly accept this as unavoidable without realizing what it's costing them. The science: even a handful of nights at 6 hours or less measurably raises CRP and IL-6 the very next day. Poor sleep doesn't just leave you tired. It directly throws fuel on the inflammatory fire. The action step: protect a consistent sleep window, same bedtime, same wake time, even on weekends. Dim screens an hour before bed, keep the room cool and dark, and consider a small evening ritual: herbal tea, light stretching, or a few minutes of slow breathing. The goal isn't perfection. It's giving your body's nightly repair crew enough time to actually finish the job. The stress you've stopped noticing. Chronic stress, the invisible trigger. The problem? Short-term stress is normal and even useful, but long-term, low-level stress, financial worry, caregiving, health anxiety, keeps your stress hormone, cortisol, elevated for months or years. Eventually, your cells stop responding to cortisol properly, a state researchers call cortisol resistance, and that resistance itself triggers more inflammation, not less. The science. People in chronically stressful situations, long-term caregivers are one of the most studied groups, consistently show higher inflammatory markers than peers of the same age, independent of diet or exercise habits. The action step. You don't need to eliminate stress. You need a daily release valve. 10 minutes a day of something that genuinely calms your nervous system. Slow breathing, time outdoors, journaling, prayer, music, measurably lowers cortisol and, over time, the inflammation that follows it. The one most people get backwards. The problem. Here's the one most people would never think to put on a health list. Loneliness. We tend to file social connection under nice to have, not medically important. That's the part most people get backwards. The science. Researchers studying inflammatory gene expression in lonely adults have found patterns strikingly similar to those seen in people who are physically inactive. Isolation doesn't just affect mood, it registers in the body as a threat, and the body responds predictably with inflammation. The action step. Treat connection like a prescription, not a luxury. One real conversation a day, a phone call, a walking group, a class, a volunteer shift, isn't just good for your spirits. It's measurably good for your inflammatory markers. If you only take one thing from this video, let it be this. Reaching out to someone today is a legitimate part of your health routine. Let's bring it together. Eat to calm the fire, not feed it. Move daily, even gently. Protect your sleep like it's part of your medicine cabinet, because it is. Release stress on purpose, every day. And don't underestimate connection. It may be the most powerful, least expensive tool on this entire list. So tell me, which of these 5 surprised you most? The food, the sleep, or that last one about connection? Drop it in the comments. I read every one. And if this was useful, hit subscribe. Every week, we cover one more piece of living a longer, stronger, more energized life after 60. Inflammaging isn't a verdict. It's a process, and processes can be changed. None of what we covered today requires anything extreme. Just small, repeated choices that quietly cool the fire down, day after day. If you want the next step, I've put together a complete anti-inflammatory eating plan for the week ahead. It's linked right here. We'll see you there.